Thanksgiving Day, $1,400 fourth stimulus check update, specifically focused on Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, no income, seniors, older adults, and of course, people with disabilities. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now this is one I've seen showing up in the headlines quite a bit lately, and maybe you've seen it as well. Well, that's exactly what I want to focus on here in the video, and of course, specifically focused on all the fixed income beneficiaries I mentioned just a few seconds ago at the beginning of this video, because we need to stay tuned with what is actually going on and what may be out there right now that we can possibly grab, as money is very tight, and of course, the fixed income beneficiaries need additional money right now, which is no surprise. We've been in this situation for a very long time now, and everybody needs more money. Let's get into it and talk about what's going on and what are these headlines in regards to a Thanksgiving Day $1,400 fourth stimulus check. Let's get right into it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side every single day, watching all this new information hitting the wire, the updates, the headlines, the reports, the announcements, and everything else coming out, doing all the research and breaking it all down into these short videos to keep you updated with what is actually going on, and most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course, anything out there right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of, including money, benefits, raises to benefits, checks, programs, stimulus, or anything else like that. Of course, I truly want to help you out in any way that I possibly can. So again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, so you don't miss any videos going forward, and I'll continue to be here for you every single day, no matter what. That's my dedication, and let's get right into it. All right, so I do want to talk about this because I've seen this showing up a number of times recently, so I dug into it a little bit further to see what is actually going on here. Because as I've always said before, anytime that I come across a headline or two and I start reading about something, I always like to cross-reference it with a variety of different sources just to make sure that what I'm seeing is what is actually that I'm reading about, right? What is it that I'm actually reading about? So I always cross-reference a lot of these different sources. Well, as you probably noticed here in some of the videos that I've been talking about recently, prices are rising rapidly on everything, even though that sometimes we get these reports that come out and say, oh, inflation has peaked out. Inflation is actually going down. Yes, on some things, inflation is actually going down, but guess what? Inflation is still going up very high and aggressively and very fast on food. We do know this, right? In fact, just a short time ago, I had a separate video out talking about how turkeys for Thanksgiving are up about 112% more than what they were last year. Did you hear that? Yeah, that's crazy, right? So the price of turkeys alone up 112%. So can anybody say, stimulus check, cha-ching, please, we need a stimulus check? I mean, seriously, that's unbelievable, right? So it's actually what's also interesting about this is the reports that are coming out are actually showing that about 51% of people are completely skipping Thanksgiving this year because it's too expensive. I don't blame you. Seriously, it's very, very expensive this year versus what it was last year. And last year was even increased quite a bit over the previous year. So we're seeing prices significantly higher this year than what we saw just a couple years ago. So anyway, those are just a couple examples. Again, I covered all that in previous videos recently. We don't need to go down that road again just because we don't need to cover all that again. I've already covered it. But again, I want to give you a quick little glimpse into some of the reports that I've been talking about. Also, I want to throw this out there right away. As of right now, no, a $1,400 stimulus check, a $2,000 check, a $1,000 check, a check of any dollar amount at this point has not been approved, okay? I want to make that very clear right away. I apologize. I should have said that, I don't know, a minute or two ago. But again, I kind of got off on that little rant there talking about how turkey prices and food prices are up very much right now. But again, I want to make it very clear, as of right now, a fourth stimulus check in any dollar amount has not been approved yet. However, let's quickly talk about the headlines and what is coming out right now talking about a Thanksgiving Day $1,400 stimulus check. What is all this about? Like I said, maybe you've seen the headlines on this. Maybe you've seen some information circling around. I know that I've seen this in a variety of sources lately. What is this talking about? Basically, what it comes down to is this much. How long has it been since we received a stimulus check? I bet you're not going to guess. 20 months. Yes, it's been 20 months since we've seen the last stimulus check. The last one of $1,400 was 20 months ago. Seems like a long time, right? It is a very long time. So The problem is, right now, the inflation that we're dealing with today is significantly higher than what it was the last time that we received a stimulus check 20 months ago when we received $1,400, the $1,400. Guess how much inflation was at that time? It was at about 3%. Inflation was sitting at about 3%, and we're still sitting at about 8% today. So we're sitting about 5% higher in inflation today than what we were when we saw the last stimulus check about 20 months ago. That's a huge problem, right? And like I said a minute ago, prices on food and shelter and things that fixed income beneficiaries are spending money on a regular basis, the necessities, things like this, are still increasing in price very rapidly. This is not a solution, and this is not an equation that's actually going to work out for the fixed income and the low income, right? So as a result of that, we're seeing a lot of calls out there right now from many people coming out saying, it is time to get a highly focused fourth stimulus check into the pockets of the fixed income. And again, we've been banging the drums on this thing for like a year and a half now. Many of us here in this community, we've been talking about this for a very long time. I've been sending the letters out to Congress. I've been doing all kinds of different things, trying to get the attention of Congress. And again, I've made this very clear before. All it takes is one. All it takes is one lawmaker to get on board with this. The reason I say that, of course, now obviously, we need way more than that. We need hundreds of lawmakers between the House of Representatives and the Senate. We need hundreds of them to come on board with us with this idea. But here's the fact of the matter. We already know that there are some lawmakers in Congress right here, right now, that are already in support of more money going out to the people, right? We already know this. But the reason that I'm saying it's only one that we need, because here's what they do. Congress is like a bunch of high schoolers, right? You see the little groups all around in school, right? You remember those days? I certainly do. I'm not sure where you went to school, but where I did, there were all kinds of little groups all over the place. And for me, I was never part of them. I never had any friends, right? I was the guy that was always by myself, walking around making it look like I had friends, but I never had friends. But anyway, that's beside the point. The fact of the matter is, it's like a bunch of teenagers, right? They're like a bunch of high schoolers. They all gather around in their little groups, right? Whoever they hang with at the time. Hey, buddy, let's talk about this. Hey, guys, let's do this, right? So they're like a bunch of high schoolers, and they're like, that's what they do, right? So all it takes is really one of these lawmakers to really get on board with this in a really big way. And then they go back to their group, right? And they say, hey, gather around, everybody. I got this great idea. We should send out a highly focused check for the low income and fixed income. Guess what it would do for us? It'd make us look like heroes, right? Well, I don't really care what it does for the lawmakers. I couldn't care less if they look like heroes. And by all means, I'd be glad to call them a hero if they did this, because this is what they really need. And at this point, it really is almost an act of a hero to get some money out into the pockets of the low income and fixed income, right? So I think that's what all of us can probably agree on right now, is that all it really takes is that one of these lawmakers, because then when they get together with these groups and they kind of start spreading their ideas around and say, hey, this is what we're going with, and I think this would be great, right? We could send out a highly focused check for, say, 20 million, 30 million, maybe 40 million people that are really low income, scraping along the poverty line, maybe below the poverty line or right above the poverty line. We could help out all these people with a highly focused check, and then guess what? We can sign it, and we can be the co-signers of this piece of legislation, and we're going to look really, really good, right? Well, let's be real. They would look really good, because they would be the people riding in on a white horse and say, hello, we got a check for you, what everybody has been calling on for a very long time. So the point is actually very valid, right? Whoever would actually come forward and actually do this, the lawmakers, they would look really good. And again, it doesn't really matter which party they come from. The fact of the matter is, if any lawmakers were to come forward right now and actually do something for the low income and fixed income, I think we would all say, hey, thanks. We really appreciate it. Thanks for looking out for us when nobody else is, right? I think all of us would be very appreciative of that. And again, who cares who the lawmakers are at this point? If anybody came forward and actually did something like this, I think we would all probably say, we appreciate you looking out for us. For once, somebody is actually on our side here. So that's what it really takes, which is why I've been coming out with these letters and things like this, trying to get out to lawmakers. We've been trying different strategies as far as raises to benefits, monthly checks, universal basic income or guaranteed basic income programs, highly focused stimulus checks, maybe little stipends on a monthly basis going out to the fixed income. Again, we've been trying a variety of different approaches here. Removing the marriage penalty, that's another letter we've sent out recently. We've also tried having them change some of the language as far as SNAP benefits and how the raises are implemented for fixed income benefits to not reduce other benefits out there. There's a whole variety of different approaches that we've had. In fact, I even got the letter that I shared with you a couple months ago that I got from the president on my letters that I've been sending over, right? Do you remember that video? But anyway, there's a lot of different things that are going on here, a lot of different moving parts. So basically what it comes down to, if you've been seeing the headlines in regards to a Thanksgiving Day $1,400 stimulus check, it simply just comes down to a lot of people are really banging the drums on this. A lot of people are really coming out, making the calls for the need for a highly focused check. Now, am I saying that everybody here in the country needs a check? No, not even close. Does 85% of the population need a $1,400 check like what we saw 20 months ago? Not even close. 85%? No, we don't need that for everybody. We need a check focused on maybe like 10% of the population, right? The lowest income, the fixed income, these are the people that need the checks. Now, for all the concerns out there that this would cause massive inflation, no, it wouldn't. It would not cause massive inflation. Here's the deal. Is inflation going down anyway? Who really cares? Inflation is doing nothing. Inflation is staying high. Inflation has done nothing other than stay the same level. It's even going up on those essential items like I talked about a minute ago, right? So is this really going to impact inflation? If we sent out $1,400 or somewhere thereabouts, $1,000, $1,200, $1,400, $2,000 to say 10% of the population, to about 33 million Americans, which again, there's about 333 million Americans right now. So 10% would be obviously 33 million people. Would that really cause a lot of inflation? Maybe a teeny tiny bit, maybe a couple tenths of 1%. But do we really care about that? Not really. If all of us knew that the fixed income and low income were actually, in a better place and doing better financially as a result of that, could we deal with maybe, I don't know, 0.1% or 0.2% of more inflation, or probably no inflation? Because only 10% of the population is not that much, and it would not really impact inflation all that much. Maybe a teeny tiny bit, if any at all. So that's almost like saying that your Social Security benefits are causing inflation. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not causing inflation at all. So anybody that would say that it would cause more inflation, I don't really see it. This is not happening. However, if we did send out a $1,400 check to 85% of the population, like what we did, say, 20 months ago, yes, that would cause a lot of inflation. That would cause a lot of inflation. But sending out a $1,400 check or $2,000 or $1,100 or $1,200 or whatever the dollar amount is, it doesn't really matter, to say, 10%, 33 million people, it's not going to have very much impact at all. Not to inflation anyway. So, and like I said, inflation isn't doing anything anyway. So what's the difference? You know what I mean? Let's just do what's right. I feel like everybody has a conscience. Everybody knows what's right. And again, doing something like this would be the right thing for the low income and fixed income. Anyway, hope this kind of gives you a better glimpse into what's really going on, some of these headlines out there, and what all of these are. It is not confirming that a $1,400 check has been approved for Thanksgiving Day. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what the headlines are saying. But rather, it's coming out saying that the people out there right now, us and everybody else out there, is making these calls on Congress. Let's get something done. It's finally about time. 112% increase on turkeys is nuts. People are skipping Thanksgiving. People are missing the holidays, getting together with friends and family, people that they love and care about because of money. I mean, seriously, you've got to be kidding me. What is more important right now? Spending time with friends and family and the people that we care about, or money? I mean, honestly, it comes down to, realistically, a lot of people can't get together because of money. That's a sad situation, especially right now when we're all supposed to be getting together with the people that we love and care about, right? So it's really sad and unfortunate. It's a really, really unfortunate situation that's playing out right now. But this is the fact of the matter, and this is what is really happening right now. But anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. We are all a big old happy family right here in the community. I don't know if that's true or not. I've never said that before, but again, it kind of feels that way, right? I read the comments down below. So many amazing people here in this community. Seriously, I love reading your comments down below. I do my best to respond and read as many as I possibly can. And again, just doing my best here. I want to do whatever I can to help you out in this community as much as possible. So again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you again later.